record-breaking run, 4:08.
And what a scene, what a performance last weekend in Madison. Now the scene shifts to Iowa City. We're at gray, gloomy, chilly Kinnick Stadium, where the Wisconsin Badgers are on the road atop the West Division of the Big Ten, and it is a crucial game against the Hawkeyes, who still have Big Ten title hopes themselves. Hi everybody, Dave Fleming alongside Chris Spielman as we are here from Iowa City on this Big Ten kind of day. Chris, Melvin Gordon spectacular last week, history made, greatest single game rushing performance in college football history. Chance for more history today. He's 91 yards away from 2,000. He's within striking distance of the Big Ten single season rushing record. Before we hear from you, wanted to get Todd McShay's perspective, because Todd, Wisconsin's had this great tradition of Wisconsin running backs. Melvin Gordon, though, feels a little bit different, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a special skill set. He really does. That's why he has a chance to be the first running back selected in the first round of the draft since 2012. But what specifically works so well is that his skill set fits the zone blocking scheme that Wisconsin runs. First of all, you've got to have vision. You're going to see here the flow of the play is to the left side. He sees right away that this linebacker's flowing too far, and bam, he hits that backside lane. That's a big time recognition from a big time back. And the other thing you have to have is acceleration. And just take a look at this. Stick your foot in the dirt, explode up the field. 4.3 seconds. Now, I know it's a running start, but he also has a football in his hands, and he's also wearing pads. This guy is as explosive as any back you'll see. What's interesting today, though, is this Iowa defense held him to his lowest yard per carry in 2013. This is a great matchup.
Well, it truly is. Thanks, Todd. Just incredible numbers all the way across the board for number 25 getting ready to go here against the Hawkeyes. And Chris, so Iowa found a way to slow him down last year. Can they do that again this season?
Well, they can with help from their offense. Wisconsin's 2 losses this year, Dave. They held the ball less than 30 minutes, 8 wins over 34 minutes. But on defense, philosophically, this is what you have to do. And this is how they're built. You have to play zone defense. When you play zone defense, that means you have 11 sets of eyes on the football and on the backfield. Last week where they hurt Nebraska was they played a lot of man, Nebraska did. Well, Melvin gets to that second level, the defender's backs are turned, and he's off to the races.
Meanwhile, Hawkeyes offense, can they have success against a very tough Badgers D?
They can if they do this. I believe strongly that they need to throw the ball on first down. They have the tight ends and skilled players to win some matchups. And anytime you're successful throwing the ball early, you get that opened up running game, which they need to have to beat Wisconsin today.
So here we go, ready for kickoff. The Hawkeyes win the toss, and they want the ball. So they want their offense on the field to start this game. It's not as cold as it has been, although it still feels chilly. 50 degrees officially at kickoff time, and the wind is also not quite the factor that it can be sometimes here at Kinnick.
And that can help Iowa too, Dave, because one thing they want to do is they want to take about 5 or 6 shots deep down the field. That puts a little bit of pressure on the Wisconsin secondary and opens up some running lanes.
Jordan Canzeri, who is healthy this week, back deep to receive, but the kickoff goes over his head. It's a touchback, and the Hawkeyes will take the field first. And their quarterback, who has had a good year, Jake Rudock, has come under some criticism here in Iowa City. The offense hasn't put up huge numbers, but I think overall, Chris, Jake has played well.
Yeah, I think he manages the game well. He's capable of making every throw. He reads defenses pretty well. Just a little bit more consistency, and when you have open receivers, he must hit them, especially today.
Both of these teams will use 2 quarterbacks, so we'll see Rudock. We will also see C.J. Beathard at some point. Well, the Hawkeyes beginning at their own 25-yard line against the best defense in the country by yards per game. But a nice hole for Mark Weissman, and a carry for just about 8 yards on first down.
Well, if you want to go back to the 1980s, way back when I played, this is the kind of football game you're going to see. Actually, 2 teams that will actually use a fullback. I mean, I can see one team using a fullback, but how many games in college football where 2 teams use a fullback?
They huddle, they use a fullback, they want to run the ball. Old style Big Ten football here this afternoon. And another handoff. Weissman again. He's got the first down. The ball came loose, though. Wisconsin thinks they have it, and they do. Second second play from scrimmage, and the Hawkeyes turn it over.
Well, you're going to see here the ball security is pretty good. It's high and tucked up against his chin. And as you have players coming in, people running to the football, Michael Caputo, number 7, the leading tackler for the Badgers, is able to put the helmet on the football, deadens that forearm, ball loose. Wisconsin, a strong pursuing defense there to fall on it.
Well, what a play by Caputo. He forced the fumble. He recovered the fumble.
That's a double daily, a daily double.
And so now number 25 is on the field for the first time. Melvin Gordon alone in the backfield. And Joel Stavi, the quarterback, will play fake to Gordon and rolling out. He'll hit Gordon out of the backfield. He gets across the first down mark. Then he has the ball poked away out of bounds. But it's a first down gain of 12 or 13 yards.
Well, it's a good call by Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator, for this simple reason. Anytime you can get a speedster like Melvin Gordon matched up with Bo Bauer, a linebacker in one-on-one in space, frankly, it's a mismatch.
And that has been a bigger part of his game this year. He has been catching the ball out of the backfield. Gordon on the verge of history. On the ground, 91 yards away from 2,000 for the season. Well, there is a fullback in the backfield. They'll give it to Melvin Gordon. Pursued, does find his way forward for a couple of yards.
Well, Dave, right there is going to, I think, to me, make his draft stock rise on the first 2 plays. Here's why. The first play, he catches the ball out of the backfield. One of the reasons he came back to school was to prove that he has hands. The second play, in order to be a good NFL back, you have to be able to make people miss. Right there, he made number 52, Quentin Alston, the fine middle linebacker for the Hawkeyes, miss in the backfield.
Could have been a loss or no gain. He got a few yards. Well, Iowa's offense turned the ball over on their second play from scrimmage. Wisconsin, excellent field position, but now 2nd and 18. They'll give it to Gordon again, straight ahead, and hit hard again. Down to the 32.
And one thing I'm noticing early on is Iowa, they're committed to getting a lot of leverage horizontally. And by that, I mean, they're not going to necessarily need to bring an 8th man in the box to defend the run. They'd rather have a little bit of depth, but make sure that they're wide. They don't want Melvin Gordon, whether it's bouncing the inside run out or just on an outside run, to get in the open field. Very disciplined with their eyes.
Well, it's good too, Todd. They have 2 big hogs in there, Trinka Passat and number 71 for them, Carl Davis.
On 3rd and long, Stavi throws, and a good attempt by the tight end Arneson, but no catch, incomplete, and it's 4th down.
How big is that? Huh? Give a turnover, you answer the call. Well done by the Hawkeye D.
Great job by Iowa's defense. Wisconsin's field goal game is strong. They have a true freshman kicker, Rafael Gaglianone, who has kicked a 51-yarder already this year, and this will be an attempt of 50 yards. Meyer, the punter, is the holder. The kick on the way, and it is good. So how about that 50-yard field goal in the cold, in the breeze? Gaglianone gives Wisconsin the first 3 points of the game. So the turnover gives Wisconsin field position, and they turn that into 3 points on the 50-yard boot. Badgers with the early 3-0 lead. Dave Fleming, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay from Iowa City. This series, the closest Big Ten series in history. 43 wins for Wisconsin, 42 for the Hawkeyes. 2 times these 2 teams have tied. They first met all the way back in 1894. And we expect a close, competitive game here this afternoon. Wisconsin got a turnover on the second play from scrimmage, turned that into a field goal. The Hawkeyes will bring the kick out. Kanziri not even to the 15. Good kick coverage from Wisconsin. Weissman in the backfield. They're going to throw the ball for the first time, and it is complete out into the right flat. Cavante Martin-Manley, who is their leading receiver and one of the top receivers in Iowa history for a short gain of 4.
I love the call. Again, first down. First down passing is key. One, because you're going to get a looser coverage on first down. You're not going to get tight man-to-man. And that's an easy route and an easy throw for Rudock to make to get him into rhythm.
Third in school history, Martin Manley on the right side of the formation here. And on second down, they hand it to Weissman, who's tackled in the backfield. Nice play, Marcus Trotter.
You know, Marcus Trotter is the reason, about the second main reason why this is the #1 total defensive team in the country. Very instinctive. Now he takes the place of Chris Borland, and he makes a lot of plays. He's an outstanding middle linebacker, fifth-year senior that's seized his opportunity. I really like that kid.
Now look at those defensive numbers. This is a team that replaced all 7 starters in the front 7, having huge success again this year.
And they play well as a team, and they're well coached by Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator.
3rd and 7, pressure, the throw, and the catch. A dive forward close. Damon Bullock. But he did not get there. It's 4th down.
Well, Caputo saves the day. And this is excellent recognition by Rudock, understanding the blitz, and they had it set up. Now only if Martin Manley, number 11, can get his block on Caputo, they got to play. But Caputo has a nose for the ball, instincts, avoided the block, and got him down in open field.
That's 2 big plays already for the safety, Michael Caputo. That punt almost blocked. Now a flag thrown as the catch will be made, and then out of bounds, Kenzel Doe. But Wisconsin arguing that they blocked the kick. We'll see. Dan Capron is the referee.
Running into the kicker. Defense, number 58. The 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
See, Gary Anderson's making the argument that Joe Schobert was making. He got a hand on the ball. He's asking Joe, did you get a hand on it?
Let's see if we can tell.
You can't tell from that angle.
I don't know if you can tell.
No, not from any angle that we've witnessed so far.
Rudock, who's 3 for 3 in this first quarter. Weissman back in as the tailback. Short drop. And another catch by Martin Manley. That offensive line that Chris is talking about for the Hawkeyes, sort of that old school style of blocking, experienced group, and headed by one of the best tackles in the country.
And you look at Brandon Sheriff, and I think Todd projects him more as a guard in the NFL, but certainly athletic and very physical. The thing I love about him is he finishes plays. He'll put a guy on his back in a heartbeat.
6 Heartland Trophy semifinalists just named this week. Brandon Sheriff, the left tackle. 2nd and 6. Weissman avoided that first tackler and got a couple yards.
You know, on 1st down, we saw 2 short passes. Now, a lot of times, offensive coordinators, what they love to do is short pass. They're setting you up on 1st down. And going back to what Todd said, is that they like to throw the short, thinking that the defense is going to think short on the next pass. Then you go for the shock play or the one over the top.
Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, longtime coordinator for Mac Brown at Texas, has come here under Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. 3rd and 3.
The matchup here atop with Deshaun Smith.
Blitz picked up, and a nice delivery from Rudock across the middle. And Vandenberg out into the open inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line.
Well, this is a man beater. The formation is a man beater because you're in bunch. So when you recognize man coverage, you get in bunch, so it's hard to determine who you have. Right there, when you give too much depth off the line of scrimmage, Vandenberg's able to find the open hole and work for the first.
The reason he's able to get so many yards after the catch, too, is great read by Rudock. He saw 7, the safety, Caputo, moved over right before the snap of the ball back towards the middle of the field. He initially was very far over to the left side. That made all the difference in the world because of the pre-snap read.
All right, Todd, I think that's sort of what Chris was talking about early. Very smart quarterback, Jake Rudock, who's pressured. He's going to throw, gets it out to Weissman, who makes the first man miss. Inside the 20, down to the 15. Nice move out of the backfield for the senior, Mark Weissman.
Well, Mark Weissman would rather run over you than avoid you. But he makes a good football player miss, and Trotter right there. And a good hustle play by number 47, Vince Beagle, from behind. But again, we're getting the first down throws. And that's the game plan coming in. I think it's the right game plan. And that way you keep that offense and those safeties from getting involved in the running game in a hurry, because they're thinking play fast first on first.
11th play of the drive. I've never touched one of those. Tight end in motion. Weissman with the handoff, and he'll get stacked up at about the 13-yard line. Marcus Trotter again in on a tackle.
Well, Weissman is a fullback playing running back, and he's very effective at what he does. But there are times where he misses holes and opportunities. But that's who he is. They know who he is, and Mark knows who he is. And he's one of those guys that's a competitor too, and he fumbled the ball. He gets angry. And when he gets angry, he's a load.
Coming off his best week of the year last week against Illinois. First time he'd gone over 100 yards in a single game all season. 2nd and 8 inside the red zone. A play fake. Rudock throws, and some contact. No flag thrown, incomplete. Intended for the tight end Doozy.
You talk about Joe Schobert, you talk about probably the most fluent athlete on this defense. That's why he's able to match up right here with Doozy. The thing I love about it is he gets his hands on him, which disrupts the timing of the route. Might have had a little pull down right there. Oh, that's all right. You can get away with it, get away with it.
Says the former linebacker.
Yeah.
3rd and 8. Well, Iowa has controlled the ball in this first quarter, but trying to get into the end zone here from the shotgun. Rudock with all kinds of time. Now he's going to scramble. Rudock to the 10 and takes a big hit. Did not get the first down. Peniel Jean came up and not only prevented the first down, he put a hurting on Jake Rudock.
Yeah, and this is a good effort by Rudock. I like the recognition. Nothing there. Take a throwing lane, turn it into a running lane. Now either slide or get out of bounds. You're important to your football team, and you do not take those shots. And good job of Peniel Jean avoiding the helmet-to-helmet.
Marshall Kane, who also has a strong leg, the Hawkeyes place kicker, from 26 yards, hooks one through. A long drive for the Hawkeyes, and Iowa gets 3 to tie the game. When we come back, record-setting running back Melvin Gordon back on the field for the Badgers in this 3-3 tie. Back here at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City on this gray November day, a 3-3 score, 4:01 to go first quarter. Dave Fleming, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay, the kickoff. And Wisconsin's Kenzel Doe will bring it back and get tackled right around the 20-yard line. Well, 2 longtime rivals in the Big Ten who have played a lot of close games over the years, and it feels like we're getting another one here this afternoon. End of quarter number 1 in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes at home looking for an upset, tied with Wisconsin 3-3. Start of quarter number 2 in Iowa City. Who's got the best seat of the house at Kinnick Stadium? I'm going to say it is not that guy.
Oh, man.
Takes a little courage to perch up top the construction crane. Our Pacific Life game summary through quarter number 1. And Iowa's defense playing some keep away with the offense on the field, but holding Melvin Gordon in check. 23 total yards for the Badgers in the first quarter.
Well, the biggest reason is the 10 minutes and 16 seconds time of possession. Remember, as we said in the open, 2 games that Wisconsin lost this year, they had the ball less than 30 minutes, so that has to be a focus for Iowa.
So Gordon quiet so far. Now remember, last week against Nebraska, it was the second quarter where he exploded. He had 189 yards in the second quarter. Play fake to Gordon, and they will throw to the tight end, and big number 49 Sam Arneson with the catch, knocked out of bounds short of a first down. Bauer pushed him out. Redshirt freshman linebacker. The numbers we were talking about in the monster record-setting performance against Nebraska. Gordon first quarter fairly quiet, second and third quarter historic.
Unbelievable.
Never carried the ball in the fourth, or it could have been worse.
There
for
the
the Huskers. Hands Hand off Gordon this time, trying to get to that edge, and he does get to the edge, but shoved out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So a nice gain, not one of those breakaway plays, though. First down, Wisconsin.
They got away with one right here because Desmond King, number 14, you see him at the top of your screen. Excuse me, that's Greg Mangum, number 13, who snuck inside. That's where Gordon will make you pay. If you're a corner, you have to leverage the ball back inside.
So far, Iowa's defense has done a pretty good job of that. That was an 8-yard run, 71 away from 2,000 on the season. Gordon straight ahead, takes another pretty big hit right at midfield. 5 yards on first down for Gordon, and he's a little slow to get up.
Two of the biggest hitters on this Iowa team are Jordan Lomax, number 27, and his counterpart at safety, number 37, John Loudermilk from Salem, Ohio, or Carrollton, Ohio. John's a tough player. He's really a true in-the-box safety. And watch his head up, bring your feet. Look at that face mask up. Avoid penalties and avoid injuries.
John Loudermilk, son of a great longtime NFL player, Kurt Loudermilk. Gordon, left side, will fight his way forward, and they're going to spot him just short of the first down. That was the other safety you were just talking about, Jordan Lomax.
That's what they have to be strong in. I mean, Iowa likes to play a lot of 8-man fronts, so they're going to have their safeties active and involved. And right now, they're doing a good job of winning the one-on-one battles with Gordon. That's what he's so good at, making a safety miss in a hole and off to the second level. Tackling has been sound from the safety position.
Third and maybe a half a yard. Stavi hands off Gordon, who made the first man miss, and then he falls forward and gets the first down. Not spectacular, but a nice effort from Melvin Gordon.
Well, Bo Bowers has kind of had an almost game so far. He almost had the pass covered. He almost gets a TFL right here. Good move, but there's the power, Todd.
Thing you see consistently with Melvin Gordon is the vision. You know, even on that run, the initial run, he's always pressing the line of scrimmage. He sees there's not a crease, so he's going to keep bouncing it. And he takes a lot of runs that would be negative or no-yard gains and winds up making them 2 or 3 yards. That adds up over the course of 4 quarters.
Well, at least for this play, Gordon on the sideline. Corey Clement gets the carry, and he just had nowhere to go.
Bo Bowers making me eat my words. Good job that time. Pinching inside, beating his man one-on-one. Getting a tackle for loss. Made up for it.
One thing, he's active in this game. Hasn't taken advantage of all those opportunities. Now we see for the first time Wisconsin get Tanner McAvoy, the quarterback, in the game. So Bauer and Iowa, they got to pay attention to McAvoy with his legs. Much more of a running quarterback than Joel Stavi. Hands it off. No, he keeps it. And McAvoy out into the open. A great cut back to the 10 to the end zone. Touchdown. Well, they keyed on Gordon. McAvoy kept it 45 yards. And that's what he comes in the game to do.
Well, they came out there with like a pistol Y bone. And earlier in the year, Iowa was hurt by Maryland. They game planned that, and Tanner McAvoy, as you mentioned, dangerous with his legs, and made Iowa pay.
Extra point is no good. Gaglianone hooked it left, so the touchdown, but no extra point. And we'll see if that looms large. But Tanner McAvoy came into this game averaging almost 10 yards a rush. One of the better running quarterbacks in the country. And he shows you why here. 45 yards to put the Badgers ahead 9-3. From Iowa City in the second quarter, the Badgers on the road have taken a 9-3 lead over the Hawkeyes. 75-yard run from McAvoy. So now the Badgers kick it deep to Iowa. Kansiri in the end zone will take a knee. And Chris, let's take another look at that touchdown play.
Well, gap sound, not so much right here. Watch number 43 and number 90, Louis Trinca-Passat. On the snap of the ball, everybody has one gap. Now watch what happens. Freeze it right there. You see two guys in one gap, which is sealed. He's got to go out here because of this threat, and there's the open hole.
When I was studying this against Maryland, Maryland's offense ran it 7 different times and gashed the Iowa defense. They had trouble with some fly sweeps, with some misdirection, and especially this diamond formation, which, as you said, pistol with the 2 backs flanked on either side of the quarterback. Expect to see more of that from Wisconsin.
Excellent.
1st and 10, handoff. And this time Kanziri, just a couple of yards over the left side. We still haven't seen one of those first down shots. We've seen some passes, Chris, on first down, but nothing down the field.
No, I think you have to throw it down the field because you have to loosen safeties. And they're out there and they're pressing the receivers. And so they're daring you to throw. Right there, I'll tell you, Jake Kiefer handled Brandon Sheriff. The All-American tackle, he got handled on that play.
2nd and 7 for Iowa. Short drop and the pass left side caught by Martin Manley. Out of bounds, short of the first down. Well, this Wisconsin defense captained by that guy Dave Aranda, 2nd year as the defensive coordinator for Gary Anderson.
I love him. I think he's brilliant. And anytime you lose your whole front 7, get the front 7 guys to come in, lead the nation in total defense. That's not only a credit to players, but it's a credit to him. Dave Aranda, an outstanding young coach, very bright.
Young guy who had his playing career cut short because of injury, but did not want to leave the game and has become one of the top young minds in college football. Rudock on 3rd down again. He'll scramble, throw, and nobody home. Nobody in the area. He took a shot after he got rid of the ball. The officials are talking about this one. Was he outside the tackle box? No, apparently. A flag has been thrown.
This is the nice little bit of matchup zone. They do a great job, and there's nobody creating space or working away
4th down
from the defenders.
Yeah, there was nobody anywhere near where Rudock threw the ball, and he thought he was outside the tackle box. You have to get outside the tackle box. You have to throw it past the line of scrimmage. He definitely did that second part, but not the first, and it's intentional grounding.
Yeah, well, that was a panic. I mean, he showed poise one play and panic the next, but he didn't get any help from his receivers. Once you feel bodies on you as a receiver, you see your quarterback moving around, you must move with him.
So from 4th and 3 to 4th and longer than that, the punter Dylan Kidd moves one high and toward the right sideline, out of bounds. The Badgers and Melvin Gordon to have the ball when we come back. Wisconsin on the road, leading 9-3. Well, it is kind of a cool tradition in this rivalry. The football managers for both Wisconsin and Iowa play a game the night before this game every year. They didn't want to brave the elements. They went inside to play at flag football last night.
A little weak for me, especially for Daddy-O. Daddy-O looked like he needed one outside.
The rusty toolbox is the trophy between the football managers. Now the big boys on the field. Stavi play fake. Throws to Gordon out of the backfield. Gets a couple of blocks, trying to pick his way to the outside. Got the penalty yardage back, plus a couple more.
When you play zone defense, and Iowa likes to get good depth on their zones, a screen plays a way to attack that and get open field. Bo Bauer does a nice job of spinning back, not quitting, beating Kevin Costigan, number 54, to limit the damage.
13th catch on the year for Melvin Gordon. That was not a part of his game last season at all. He got 8 yards on that one. 2nd and 7. They'll give it to Gordon. Trying to push his way forward. Just not much there. 2 yards on 2nd down.
Just noticing, Dave, number 34, Nate Meyer, really good football player, limping right now for Iowa. We'll see if he can generate any type of pass rush. He's out there bouncing around, trying to get a feeling back in his leg. But he's a total effort guy. You see him at the bottom of your screen right here, walking around. Anytime you see a football player pacing, he's trying to walk something off.
Well, they're front four, the heart and soul of this Iowa defense. 3rd and 5. McAvoy, the fake, trying to get to the corner, and he does. Out of bounds, 1st down, Tanner McAvoy.
Well, that's twice. We talk about the importance of playing team defense. You must leverage the ball. All your pursuit and help's coming from the inside. Mabin, number 13, gets a little bit nosy again. Held just a tad by Arneson, but they're going to let you go on that. You must force the ball inside at all cost. That's twice so far. Mabin has let the ball get outside of him. Lost leverage.
McAvoy, who from right around this part of the field ran into the end zone last time Wisconsin had the ball. On 1st and 10, he'll keep it. Diving forward. He got 4 yards there. There wasn't a whole lot there, but McAvoy, a tremendous running quarterback. Quentin Alston tripped him up.
You always have to be aware of him throwing the football. 65 of 112 for 58% on the year. He's not bad. It's not the accuracy is what he struggles with, but he certainly can throw it.
Melvin Gordon, who had 408 yards. At that point, it was a record. Gets the ball here, and he's going backwards. Much tougher in this first half for Gordon against the Iowa defense than it was against Nebraska.
I'll tell you, it's nice that you're getting some backup help on the inside tackles. Number 67, Jaleel Johnson, getting penetration. That allows big Carl Davis to stay fresh. And anytime you can get depth, and at the beginning of the year, quite frankly, David, this team had no depth up front on the front 4.
Well, they've been pleased with Johnson and a couple others. You know, those top 4 are so talented. Hard to take them off the field, but you have to have that backup in place. 3rd and 8 for the Badgers. Stavi in the pocket, will throw, and it's caught. Caught at the 25 for a first down. That's Tony Fumagalli.
Well, protection again, excellent. Stavi, a different quarterback, just throwing with confidence.
And you see a lot of times Iowa plays cover 3 defense. That means their corners and 1 safety, free safety, have deep thirds. There are a lot of ways to beat cover 3 beaters. You talk about 4 verticals, 4 posts. The other way is levels. Peyton Manning does a lot of that. 2 different ends at different levels of the field. Wisconsin just took advantage.
Stavi rolling out, throws on the move, and it is incomplete. Ball hit the ground, intended for Alex Erickson. You know, Chris, we've started to talk about it. Joel Stavi, it really is an amazing story for a guy, whether you call it the yips or a mental block, whatever, to find it mid-year and be able to come back and play the way he has played is pretty amazing.
Well, I think it's one of the best stories of the year in college football. We did the LSU game, Dave, and I'm telling you, in warm-ups, he couldn't hit the side of a barn from 5 yards away. He just had zero confidence. During the bye week, he went and he threw with his buddies at high school, came back, started throwing on the sidelines. Then he got a little more confident with the scout team. The next thing you know, he got a shot against Northwestern, and here he is.
Hand off Gordon, and again, good Iowa run defense against the Badgers star.
Setting the edge. Bo Bauer, excellent. Taking on a very good run blocker. Here's Bauer right here. He's going to take on Arneson. Now watch him set the edge. He's not worried about making the play first. He's worried about bouncing that ball inside to the pursuit. And that's good, sound gap defense. Outstanding. Beautiful.
One big play, McAvoy's long touchdown run. That's been about it for Wisconsin's offense in the first half. 3rd and 11. Stavi in the pocket, throwing, and caught. That big tight end pushing his way forward. It's a first down. So he can block and he can catch too, Sam Arneson.
Well, they caught him in man-to-man, and they like the matchup right there on Anthony Gare, number 12. The problem Arneson has for a nickelback the size of Gare is that he's too big for him. He just uses his big body with a nice little push-off at the end there to get the first down and the strike by Stavi.
He may be the best tight end in the Big Ten. He's one of them. That's the third down conversion on this drive. It's Melvin Gordon makes it academic. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. Well, they've bottled up Gordon for most of this first half, but 6 yards and he was not touched.
Watch 54 Costigan from the right guard position. You see him pull around. Now watch him seal right there. He just gets his hands on Spearman. Nobody is there to bounce out to make the tackle, but Costigan, I think, in my opinion, is probably the most consistent offensive lineman on this Wisconsin football team.
12-play drive. Gordon, his 24th rushing touchdown of the season. So we haven't seen the huge yards from number 25, but the ground game has been big for the Badgers. Well, the Badgers hoping to win the West in the Big Ten and move to the Big Ten championship. They can't clinch, but they can take a big step toward that this afternoon. And Wisconsin goes into the locker room with the lead. Halftime score 16-3. Stay tuned for the halftime report after these messages. Well, the Hawkeyes of Iowa getting ready for the start of the second half here at home against their longtime Big Ten rivals, the 16th ranked Badgers of Wisconsin. And Wisconsin took control in the second quarter. They lead this game at 16-3. Melvin Gordon, who had a huge game last week against Nebraska, has been contained here this afternoon. Just 39 yards on the ground. Dave Fleming, Chris Spielman back with you. And Chris, a lot of good things for Iowa. Their defense played well, and yet that offense has got to get it going.
They had a few breakdowns. Tatum McAvoy took it around for 45, but defensively they're okay. I think offensively what they need to do, and I'm going back to the opening statement of the game, they have to throw on first down. And you have to throw routes beyond 5 yards. And the reason being, Dave, is you have to loosen up safeties. I do think they have the talent to do that, but until they do it, Wisconsin's just going to challenge them. And if they're not challenged back, it plays to Wisconsin's advantage.
The Hawkeyes also have to give the ball up to start the second half. They won the toss and took the ball to begin the game. So the Badgers offense on the field. Todd McShay down on the field. Todd, you have to give Iowa's defense credit for the way they've handled Melvin Gordon.
They've done a really good job. The eye discipline we talked about early on, they're staying where they should. They're staying in their gaps, playing with a lot of discipline. And it's been effective stopping them versus the run. You see here, everyone's converging. Everyone's got their gap. No one's trying to do more than they should. And the free man comes and makes the stick. Now, what they've done, Wisconsin, is they're trying to get creative. You saw the diamond formation with the option. McAvoy keeps it as the long run. The biggest play of this game offensively for Wisconsin. The other thing to watch for, the passing game. Melvin Gordon has 2 catches. Wouldn't be surprised to see him more involved as a pass catcher in the second half.
Handoff, Melvin Gordon out into the open, and Gordon to the left side. Huge run to midfield. Gordon will dance along the sideline, still going. And finally tackled inside the 5. And on that run, Melvin Gordon has gone over 2,000 yards on the season, the 17th player in history, and he did it in spectacular fashion.
Well, he gets his block, fittingly so, by 54, Kevin Costigan, the most physical offensive lineman for Wisconsin. And again, he uses the stiff arm as well as anybody, and right there makes history.
88 yards. So there's the first true big play. Before that one, his longest rush of the game had been 8. And not only is he over 2,000 with that carry, he is the fastest in terms of carries in history to get to that milestone. Hit and spins around for a yard on 1st and goal.
Well, on that long run, what Wisconsin was able to do was create different levels at the line of scrimmage. Early in the first half, when Iowa was successful stopping the run, they were able to create a black picket fence along the line of scrimmage, and there were no holes to hit. When you have different levels and Costigan pulling around to kick out, that opened up the crease, and only a small crease does he need because he's off.
And I think that's a good point. I mean, Iowa has played him so tough all afternoon long. You make one mistake, one missed assignment, whatever it is, and he can take advantage, not just for 8 or 10 or 20, 88 yards all the way down the field. Play fake. McAvoy trying to pick his way forward, gets back to the line of scrimmage where it will be 3rd and goal. It's part of the deal when you come to Wisconsin as a running back. They have such an incredible lineage, and it's just one after another, and Gordon had to wait his turn.
You know, Melvin's different than the other guys, and not to take away anything from those backs, and we saw 6 going back to 2000 drafted, including 2 first-rounders. Melvin has explosiveness that none of those other backs have, and when he came back this year, it was about getting stronger, being more physical, and in the passing game, and he's improved in all those areas. He should be the most productive Badger running back ever at the NFL level.
Arneson, the tight end, in motion, and they will give it to number 25. 25, nowhere to go. He lost a yard. So the Iowa defense holds. Louis Trinka-Passat, number 90, in on the play, and I assume that the Badgers are going to try a field goal.
Yeah, something rarely happened on that play. Wisconsin's offensive line never lets penetration. Trinka-Passat had nothing to do with that. He's in there to knock off pullers and make a tackle for loss.
Rafael Gaglianone from 22 yards out. Now, he did miss an extra point earlier in this game. He also kicked a 50-yard field goal. This one is up and through. So the field goal good, and Wisconsin's lead is up to 19-3. Almost like a squib kick that is taken at the 10 by Weissman. Turn it out to the 30. Melvin Gordon bottled up to some degree in the first half, and he has broken out.
Well, he's just one of those guys that you can contain him, but he's always the threat to take the long one. And I want to go back to that system back, and there's running backs that are system running backs, just like there are quarterbacks that are considered system quarterbacks. But the thing is the eyeball test, the burst, the one cut and go, and the vision and patience. And you can't underestimate his intangibles. One of the best workers on a team. He hustles, he's a great leader, and he has a small ego. All that equals victory.
Rudock, that pass I believe was tipped. It is still completed anyway to Smith, but he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, so the completion for a loss.
And Vince Beagle, number 47, is going to get his hands up in the air, pulling off of his pass rush to get the tip. And Vince Beagle is personally coached by Gary Anderson, so you better play well if the head coach is your position coach.
And Gary told us that Vince Beagle, he's got all this energy and enthusiasm, and he's found a way to sort of relax on the field, and it's made him a better player. That's a drop. That was a pretty good pass intended for Powell right at the first down mark, but incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. The second-year head coach, and Gary Anderson has his team poised again to play for the Big Ten championship.
Well, you were telling me earlier about the job that the underestimated job that he did at Utah State.
Now, Utah State was a program that was just dead. They had not had any success in a long while, and a program that was great in the past. Merlin Olsen and many other all-time greats came through Logan. And he just totally rebuilt that program. Now at Wisconsin, Rudock hit as he throws, and a diving catch. Was it made? Yes, it was, by Matt Vandenberg. Now he is down, I believe, short by about a yard, but let's take a look.
Well, a nice job by Vandenberg coming back to his quarterback, stretching out and getting that elbow down inbounds, but short of the first down.
Barely.
Yeah.
On 4th and 1, are the Hawkeyes going for it?
Well, you have to go for it because you're not going to create any explosive plays.
You have to. So I think
you have field position, and you have a team that's ball control in Wisconsin. You don't know how many times you can get the ball back.
A huge play for the Hawkeyes' chances. Quick snap. Weissman has the first down. They use that fullback. Weissman ran behind number 42, making Pleva, and they get the first down. They've been good on 4th down this year.
Not last week. They struggled on 4th down. They were 0 for 3 last week. Overall, they've been good. And Coach Ferentz, that's the 20th time they've gone for 4th down this year. And they needed that for their confidence. Last week, they were 0 for 3.
Yeah, and all the rumblings about being too conservative, they are willing to go for it on 4th down. They have been all season long. Rudock taking a shot. Smith caught inside the 30 for another big gain through the air.
Well, the protection allows time for Smith to run a double move in a perfectly thrown ball.
And I was standing right where he caught the ball, and he got his head around a little bit late. Great job picking up the ball. It's a very underrated skill, is being able to pick up the ball quickly, adjust to it, and make that catch. Split second before that, he had no idea the ball was even in the air.
We see you down there, Todd. Here's a handoff. Kanziri to the 20. So a big hole left side, and the Hawkeyes now are moving the ball.
A little bit of a spread look for Iowa right there.
And I like it. You mentioned early in this second half, hey, if you have some tempo in your offense, maybe you need to incorporate that, and it looks like Iowa's doing it.
Well, normally that helps a quarterback get in rhythm.
Under center, Rudock on second. They get to the line quickly. Now he's making a change to the play.
Well, he sees the safety, Caputo, number 7, sneaking up in there. He's going to go.
He is going to throw the ball toward the end zone and caught. Touchdown, Martin Manley. '20-yard pass play, and that vaults the Hawkeyes right back into this game.
I take it back. Keep Beathard on the bench. Keep him in the bullpen because Rudock has answered the challenge. And they found life. But the plays have helped him find life because they opened it up for him a little bit.
Now this is interesting. Still a quarter plus 2:45 to go. Down 10. And Kirk Ferentz looks like he wants to go for 2. Tempo that we've been talking about, that drive 70 yards, 2 minutes 48 seconds for them. That's lightning fast.
They needed that.
So the 2-point try here. Rudock in the shotgun will hand it off. Kanziri got knocked off balance. Second effort. He's in. Rudock and the Iowa offense down the field, 7 plays. They had stalled out since that long first quarter drive. This time they get in the end zone, cap it off with the 2-point conversion as number 25 gets ready to get back on the field.
But the difference is now Iowa started calling plays to win the game, right? They're taking shots down the field, and even though they don't convert one, they don't bag it for the rest of the game. They come back to it and they start hitting double moves. And it all starts with the protection up front, and like you said and I said, they're going tempo.
Good booming kickoff for a touchback. The Badgers will have it at the 25. The big boys up front for Wisconsin. Back on the field. It is getting loud again at Kinnick. Under the lights. Play fake. Stavi all alone back there, throws, and the tight end Arneson with the catch, upended across the 40-yard line. 2nd and 3. Gordon with the carry, stopped and dragged down the wall of number 71, Carl Davis.
Right there's an NFL first or second round draft pick move right there. If you're a defensive tackle, why don't I tackle the guard? And by the way, I think I'll tackle the best back in college football.
On to the 4th. Wisconsin leading the Hawkeyes in Iowa City. Start of the 4th quarter in Iowa City. The Hawkeyes have got this crowd going once again. Dave Fleming, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay. Chris's kind of football game. Hard hitting, good defense on both sides.
If you're Iowa right here, you have to play man. It's 3rd and 3. You have to give up and challenge them and stay in front of the sticks with your coverage.
A big 3rd down play for the Badgers. They converted just a few moments ago. Melvin Gordon will push his way forward, and it'll depend on the spot, but I think he got there. It's close. Now, looking at that spot, maybe just a fraction short.
It's certainly worth the measurement.
Yeah, I would know. How about the referee just saying 4th down? So now Gary Anderson. Gut check time for the head coach. Has got to make this decision.
I understand if you want to go for it, and I understand punting football. For me, I would go for it. But then again, I had Beathard going into the 3rd quarter. And Rudock takes him down the field.
Bullpen was warming up.
Yep. Keep him alive, though. You never know.
Drew Meyer, and this has been a problem for the Badgers. That a low returnable punt. But good coverage from Wisconsin special teams. That was dangerous. Matt Vandenberg just really had nowhere to go, though. That's the kind of punt where you see a return set up. Not there.
Let's see what Iowa does now. Do they keep the tempo and keep attacking down the field?
And you know, Melvin Gordon would have liked to have gone for it on 4th and a half a yard. Hawkeyes have the ball back. Rudock looking to pass, and he's got his man caught. They take another shot, and it's complete to Matt Vandenberg.
This is on Darius Hillary. You don't give up the inside, especially with no safety help. He has nobody behind him, and you give up the inside. Vandenberg takes advantage of the poor alignment by Hillary. Hillary jumps outside. Vandenberg runs the seam inside. Gene, the safeties, run off, which creates space for Rudock to fit it right in there.
Now, how about the pass game for the Hawkeyes? It has just come to life.
Because they're attacking downfield and they're throwing on first down.
Man in motion, and another play fake, another first down pass. Rudock going downfield again. This time it's the tight end, Jake Doozy.
Well, Caputo got lost in coverage. And Doozy's just going to run a little wheel route. Caputo loses him. Has his eyes caught in the backfield where he's responsible for the wheel route.
And 2 throws in a row with really good trajectory and ball placement. Trajectory was important on the first throw because if he leads it up there, then you give the defensive back time to get back in the play. He put it on a line, and that allowed the receiver to take advantage of having him on his back. There, he just put it on the wide receiver because he had a soft spot in the cover, too.
And Ziri gets the carry on first down for maybe 3 after the 33-yard pass play.
This is the area where you can't settle for field goals because of your offense. Even though you've had some success as of late, they've had trouble punching it in once they got into red zone. One of the keys to the game was red zone touchdowns against Wisconsin, not red zone field goals.
Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator of one of the best defenses in the country, concerned. They gave him a good spot. That was a 4-yard run on first down. Now the play clock is winding down. Down to 2. Rudock gets the ball in time. He'll throw. It's tipped up and incomplete. A nervous moment for the Hawkeyes. Warren Herring.
He wanted Vandenberg working on Caputo. But Caputo did a great job. You see up at the top of your screen, number 7, Caputo knocked him off of his route, taking advantage of the college rules where you can bump a guy down the field. Well executed.
And it might not have even been a hand. You see, that's what Chris is talking about. That one might have hit Warren Herring right in the face mask. Wearing the white face mask today, the Badgers. So now a big 3rd down and 6 from the shotgun. Rudock throws toward the end zone, and a lot of contact. Here come the flags. That was an easy call. Intended for Smith. Darius Hillary there.
Well, Hillary's going to say that Smith grabbed him right there. See, Smith got away with one right there. And that's a veteran play by Smith. Now, that should be offensive interference. And they're not going to call offensive interference. Well, maybe they will. Let's see, because Hillary was correct. If they call it, that's a great call and great vision by these officials.
They're taking a little extra time to talk about this one.
Now,
pass interference. Defense, number 5.
It's a miss.
15-yard penalty.
Yep.
Automatic first down.
The point you were making is a good one. It was subtle, but that pull drove Hillary right into
It's
him.
a big miss by the officials. And I don't blame Smith for trying to get an edge. See that pull right there? He pulls Hillary in to create the interference. That's an NFL move by Smith. I mean, that's a crafty, veteran, sneaky move. I mean, good play.
I mean, what a big difference. If that call goes against Iowa, Hawkeyes may be out of field goal range. Instead, it's 1st and goal, 2 yards away from having a chance to tie the game.
And it's an awful call by the officials. It's just a flat-out miss, and they'll hear about it.
From the I formation, Weissman hit almost right as he got the ball, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Landish, number 30, linebacker, in on the tackle. Well, we're in the the fourth quarter, and obviously these are huge plays. The Hawkeyes, if they can punch it in, would have a chance. 2-point try to tie the game.
They like quarterback draw out of empty. That's part of their game plan down here.
Well, they have empty. Rudock all alone in the shotgun. They snap it to him, and he is on a draw. Rudock, end zone, touchdown. You saw it, they called it, and the Iowa offense down the field again, and presumably going for two to try to tie this game. Six plays, 82 yards. Again, less than 3 minutes on the drive. Last time, after scoring, they went for two and ran the ball and got it in.
He's lined up at tight end on the slot, standing up right there. A lot of little pick routes and rub routes.
Well, they are running right to that wide side of the field. Rudock will throw, and it's knocked down, incomplete. That's a big hold by the Wisconsin defense. Rudock took a hit, and the Badgers stay ahead. But impressive. The Hawkeyes offense has made this a game. Fourth quarter, Badgers lead by 2. A critical game tonight here in Iowa City in the Big Ten West, and Wisconsin, the 16th ranked team in the country, a team on a big time roll, is being tested here in Iowa City by the Hawkeyes, who have scored 2 touchdowns here in the second half, and it's a 2-point game. Their 2-point conversion try failed after that last score, so now they kick the ball back to the Badgers, who still have a lead. After all the booming kickoffs, this a low squib into the end zone, and the same result. A touchback. Tanner McAvoy as the quarterback in for the Badgers. He will hand it off. Melvin Gordon left side, and more good defense from the Hawkeyes, not letting him get around the edge.
Again, and that's why they're so well coached by defensive coordinator Phil Parker. 11 sets of eyes in the backfield. I was asked last week, what would you do if you had to defend Melvin Gordon? And you have to play zone and 11 sets of eyes, because if he gets to that second level and you're man-to-man defense, it's out. It's over.
Now, Phil Parker has been around a long time, was a great player in his own right in the Big Ten. 2nd and 7. Stavy now the quarterback under center. He'll give it to Gordon. Straight ahead. Melvin Gordon hit right near that first down line, and I think they're going to spot him for a first down.
Well, they're just going to do what they do because they trust what they do. Getting up to the second level, Derek Watt with a good lead block, and that time Melvin didn't get touched because there were levels created.
I think this is a 13th game we've done together this year. Easily the hardest hitting from the field level. They're flying around, helmets cracking. Spielman, you love it, man.
I do, because I can hear it in my headset, and that's the first time I haven't heard a pillow fight all year.
Stavy with the play fake, rolling right. He's going to take a shot. He does. Sort of heaves it up for grabs, and it's knocked down incomplete. Man, did he get crunched. Maben on the coverage, but I think it was Bo Bauer who put the hit on Stavy. He's sort of staggering off.
Yeah, Bo Bauer's come on and played a nice game. He's thrown up in front of our eyes. Erickson with the double move, and Joel Stavy late on the throw because Erickson did have a step on Maben. And Joel did not get his shoulder squared to the target to deliver one down the field.
More of that hard hitting, and Stavy out of the game. Tanner McAvoy, who has a big touchdown run in this one from the shotgun. He fakes it, trying to spin away from the defense. Can't do it. Number 95, Drew Ott, there to make the play.
Well, you can say what you want about Drew Ott. I love the guy, and one of the reasons is because he's smart. He understands that if Melvin Gordon goes away from him, there's no way I'm going to make a play on the other side of the field. I'm just going to be disciplined, stay patient, and wait for McAvoy to come to me.
It is loud. Some shifting along the front for the Hawkeyes. 3rd and 13. Stavy heaves one up, and Melvin Gordon with the catch. in the pass game for number 25, Melvin Gordon.
Well, Jordan Lomax is going to get caught with his eyes in the backfield. Why, I don't know, because he's on a blitz, but he has to come off the blitz if Gordon releases.
Well, Todd has talked in this game about how much better that part of Melvin Gordon's game has been this year, coming back to school, and he has been a much better receiver as a running back. The kid who originally committed to Iowa ended up at Wisconsin and has been one of the all-time greats. Stavi pressured, and he dumps it off to Gordon again, who makes the first man miss and then is drilled inside the 25. And I think he did get the first down. It's close.
And part of your job as a running back is just to react to what's happening with the play. You're rarely the primary target. I think the big difference I'm seeing in Gordon, even from early this season, is his awareness, understanding what's going on with the play, moving when it comes to scramble rules. That's what you call it when the quarterback's moving around, working back to the quarterback. We've seen the last two plays. He's gotten himself in good position as a route runner.
Well, what he did there, two things, Todd. He chipped on Drew Ott, then he went out into the route. So he accomplished two important parts of the play in one move.
Gordon picking his way forward, gets to the outside. Melvin Gordon to the end zone, touchdown. But just when the Badgers needed him, number 25 on this drive through the air and on the ground, 23 yards, his second touchdown of the game.
And it comes back to their bread and butter play. Just take you back to John Riggins and the Washington Redskins, the old counter OT, but they add an extra element into it with the tight end coming. So they actually have 3 lead blockers on this play. This is Wisconsin's bread and butter play, and they probably run it, and he's run it, I bet you, 450 times in his career. And that's not hyperbole. That's the play they love.
Extra point up and good. They missed one earlier, not this time, and Wisconsin back up by a 2-score margin, 26-17 in the fourth quarter. Melvin Gordon turning it on in the second half. He and the Badgers out in front. Well, they love football here at Iowa. They love their wrestling. Really one of the great programs in NCAA history. Tom Brand's the head coach, who was an All-American himself as a wrestler. And they got their wrestling season started just across the way last night. A very cool event.
Yeah, I never wrestled, but I state this unequivocally. Wrestlers are the toughest athletes in the world, both mentally and physically, by far. They're warriors.
And they have such a history of success in that program here on this campus.
Dan Gable, Munich.
We love taking a look at as they got their season started just yesterday. Kickoff with Iowa now back down by 9, 26-17, and more good kick coverage. So now the Hawkeyes have to answer. Rudock pressured, throws, and Kanzeri has it, cuts it upfield, out into the open, makes a move, gets tackled from behind, but all the way out across the 40 to the 41. 27 yards on the screenplay.
Well, it's a great call by Greg Davis, because you know that Wisconsin is going to be rushing the passer in this type of game situation. And give credit to big number 95, Arthur Goldberg, the big nose guard, running them down from behind. But that's Wisconsin. That's the epitome of Wisconsin's defense, and how 11 guys are accountable to do their job on every play.
In the shotgun, Rudock again, all kinds of time, another man open. The tight end, Jake Doozy, who's been a real weapon through the air. Inside the 40, down to about the 36.
How about Jake Rudock coming alive the second half? And I'll give you credit. I'll tell you why. Because the play calling has allowed him to come alive. Because the up-tempo has allowed him to come alive. And his receivers are starting to create space between them and their defenders.
And he's made some nice throws. He's over 300 yards through the air now in the game. That one was just drilled in there. Pressured, and Rudock is going down. And they brought some pressure from the edge, and Derek Landish got there.
Derek Landish, with his 7th sack of the year, is going to beat Mark Weissman in one-on-one. This is the guy who replaced the great Chris Borland, and just beat him around the corner, and that's not a very good effort by Weissman. He's got to do a better job of getting contact on him.
Well, the clock is definitely a factor. Nearing 6 minutes to go. Pressure picked up this time, and the ball is dropped. Devontae Martin-Manley had it and lost it.
I think he peeked. I think he gave a little peek to number 59, Trotter, right in his sights. And Devontae Martin-Manley, normally steady Eddie, consistent. Right there, I think his head popped up just a tad. He'll normally make that catch. He wants another opportunity.
Not happy about it. One of the leading receivers in Iowa football history. 3rd and 15, and a field goal would be a big play if they can even get closer. Rudock is going to scramble. He'll get a block. Rudock first down and out of bounds at the 20. Not known for that, but he scrambles for 16 yards.
Well, McShay always talks about decision making and being smart. This is taking your throwing lane, turning it into a running lane, and making a play for your team when one needs to be made. How about this Iowa offense? It's alive.
Looks different. That was actually a 21-yard scramble for Jake Rudock. So first down from the 20. Rudock in the pocket. He's going to run again. He's feeling frisky. Rudock with a cut, and he dives inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
Again, just recognition. If you're going to play that deep and you're going to play Tampa 2 and drop your middle linebacker to the deep 3rd, tuck it and run.
And sometimes good things happen when you start to spread it out a little bit. They've been in 3 receivers. They're taking their tight end, Doozy, and moving him out, flexing him out as well. It's opening things up in the middle of the field to run.
Tempo too, Todd. They're going at a fast tempo.
1st and goal. Rudock hit as he throws. He's got that tight end, Doozy. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. Are wondering what has hit them here in the second half. The Iowa offense has been tremendous. Lining up for the extra point, down 3, and the kick is up and good. Well, this is a team known for its ground attack. They have done it through the air, and Kinnick Stadium has come to life. Rudock and company back down by 2. It has been a great game tonight in Iowa City. 26-24. The 16th ranked Badgers being really tested on the road by Iowa. A 7-win team in their own right. 5:01 to go. After the touchdown drive, Iowa has to kick it off. And it is worth remembering the Hawkeyes only have 1 timeout remaining in this second half. That will be a factor. So the kickoff deep. Doe will take a knee. It's a touchback. Melvin Gordon on first down with the carry out to the 31-yard line. Dave Fleming, Chris Spielman, Todd McShay here in Iowa City for a very good game in the Big Ten. And we do welcome those of you joining us after Florida State hangs on barely and beats Boston College. Another team with conference and maybe more championship aspirations. Wisconsin trying to do the same.
Yeah, and Iowa's still trying to do the same. Because they're right in the thick of things for the West in the Big Ten.
Very much so.
And both teams have answered each other's challenge.
12 yards to go for the single season Big Ten rushing record for number 25, who earlier became the fastest player to 2,000 yards in a single year. Breaking tackles, and Gordon has the first down. It's not just been the breathtaking speed, the big play ability. It's been the power running of number 25.
Well, again, which makes him a non-system back is that he can take a 1 or 2 yard loss, find a crease with his vision, and burst through the hole.
What I like there, too, is the ball security at the end of the run. It's been an issue, 3 fumbles the last 2 weeks, but he understands the importance of protecting that football right now. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left. You got a 2-point lead. You cannot afford to give up that ball.
Melvin Gordon 7 yards away from the single season Big Ten rushing record. The former Badger Ron Dane holds that mark. Play clock winding down. Stavi will hand it off to Melvin Gordon, who's swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you, for Wisconsin, you trust Stavi to make the right read. A little play action here is not a bad idea because Iowa's selling out for the run.
They might be able to just put the game away. Stavi will hand it off to Melvin Gordon, who is stopped short of the 39-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Hawkeyes only have that one timeout. There was a disputed play when they were lining up to go for 2, and they were charged with a timeout, and we're not happy about it. And right now, that timeout is looming large.
3rd and 8.
You have to keep your eyes on Arneson, number 49. It's kind of a security blanket for Stavi. He's a really good route runner in a matchup they might like. They get a linebacker or a safety on him.
Huge play. 3rd and 8 from the shotgun. Stavi has time. Stepping up. He's going to run for it, and he's going to get the 1st down.
Joel Stavi.
Something to be said about having a guy that's won a lot of ball games for you. That's a veteran that's been put in a lot of situations, not forcing the football. Melvin Gordon pulling defenders away from him, and Stavi getting the 1st down.
He's Stavi to the sideline. Tanner McAvoy, the guy who you sort of expect to be the runner, is now in the game for the Badgers. And the math is not looking good for Kirk Ferentz with only that one timeout, the clock running. And Wisconsin wants to take this all the way down. Hand off Melvin Gordon, and Gordon maybe a half a yard short of the all-time single season Big Ten rushing record. Stopped after a gain of 4.5, and that is the final timeout for Iowa.
You know, regardless of the outcome, I mean, both teams, both coaches, as Melvin Gordon just tied the single season Big Ten rushing record.
He did in his 11th game. I mean, they have another regular season game, which looms huge next week in Madison against Minnesota for the chance to play in the Big Ten championship game.
I was going to talk about just, you know, if Wisconsin wins this ball game, you know, next week's going to be another slobber knocker because there's no mistake about what Minnesota wants to do.
No. I mean, that will be a huge game. So Iowa, without that extra timeout, unable to do anything. They will take the knee and essentially end this game. Another look at our college football playoff rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Alabama tested, but they're going to win easily. Oregon big over Colorado. Florida State escapes Ohio State, and really that final score deceptive. The Buckeyes escaped against Indiana.
4-quarter game against the Hoosiers and Arkansas. I mean, we were talking about Arkansas last night, and I made a statement that they would be a strong contender in the Big Ten West. They're a good football team and only getting better under former Wisconsin coach Brett Bielema.
So the old Badgers coach having success, and the new one, Gary Anderson, comes on the road and has to gut it out. But the Badgers will get it done. A major road victory for Gary Anderson and Wisconsin against a game Iowa Hawkeyes team. And that sets up that matchup you were just talking about next week in Madison for the chance to play for the Big Ten championship. So the final score 26-24. The Badgers get the job done. And down on the field with the Badgers head coach Todd McShay.
Coach, close one. Obviously, hanging.
Way to put it.
Yeah, some ups and downs. What'd you learn about your team today?
Well, you know, the toughness, deal with adversity, keep on fighting. Offense had to step up, you know, and go out there in a tight ball game and find a way. They get the ball back. I don't know if we'll stop them again. So I'm proud of this team, though. There's a lot of guts. There's a lot of effort. Iowa, great football team. It was a great place to play. It's a very hard place to play. My hat goes off to them. We're fortunate to get the victory. And most thing I know about my kids, I love them. I love this football team.
They did a heck of a job with the discipline and just bottling up Melvin Gordon on the ground game. How important was it the fact that he's improved as a pass catcher and getting him involved that way?
Well, I think we can't forget about some plays there late that Joel Stave made were unbelievable. And Melvin being to get out of the backfield was huge for us today. Caught a couple balls. You know, they were kind of in sync there. They brought the big blitz, blown coverage, I suppose. We made a tremendous play, and then Joel scrambles to seal the deal. Unbelievable effort out of these kids.
Big game against Minnesota next week.
Yep. We'll worry about that one tomorrow.
All right, you got it, Coach. Congratulations.
All right, thanks to Gary Anderson. Thanks to Todd down on the field. Melvin Gordon ties the single-season Big Ten rushing record, and the Badgers have Big Ten championship hopes with a gutty win here on the road today.
Absolutely. A well-fought ball game. Both teams should be proud.
So 26-24, that's the final. Wisconsin's 9th win of the year. Be sure to tune in to ABC tonight at 8 Eastern for Saturday Night Football. USC against UCLA in the Rose Bowl. For Todd McShay and Chris Spielman, Dave Fleming saying goodnight from Iowa City. Now let's head to the studio for college football post-game live.